Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're an educator, you know exactly what happened in late 2022. The ground literally shifted beneath your feet, and suddenly you are thrust into this entirely new, totally chaotic classroom reality. Today, we're diving into the AI Teacher's Playbook by Jan Mauro, and my absolute goal here is to equip you with a highly pragmatic, deeply realistic approach to not just surviving, but actually thriving in the AI era. So let's jump right into this. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so here is our roadmap. We'll be looking at the AI double bind, your practical AI toolkit, the actual truth about AI detection, how to redesign your assignments, and finally, establishing a new academic integrity. All right, Section 1, the AI double bind. Let's talk about that exact tension every teacher felt the second ChatGPT hit the classroom. It really didn't happen gradually, did it? One week, student writing was perfectly normal, and the next, it was highly polished, technically flawless, but kind of lifeless. And this created what we call the double bind. On one hand, you've got professional development pushing you to modernize, use AI to save time and be more efficient. But on the very same day, you are the primary frontline defense against students using that exact same technology to completely bypass their own learning. It is a deeply unfair, totally exhausting position to be in. Which brings us to the million-dollar question. How on earth do you embrace AI to save your own sanity while simultaneously holding the line for your students? To figure this out, we really have to look at this technology from both sides of the teacher's desk. Moving on to Section 2, your AI toolkit. Let's focus on your side of the desk for a minute. We're going to skip all that utopian hype about AI revolutionizing education and focus purely on how you can work smarter, not harder. The sheer number of tools out there is totally overwhelming, but we can break all that noise down into 5 pragmatic categories. You've got your general LLMs like ChatGPT and Claude for versatile heavy lifting, but if you're kind of new to this, education-specific tools are exactly where you want to start. Platforms like Magic School AI literally do the prompt engineering for you. Need an IEP accommodation, a rubric? Boom, it's just a click. Another absolute game changer is Diffit. It takes any text and instantly adapts it to different reading levels. I mean, just imagine the hours you can save on differentiated instruction alone. But how do you actually build this into a workflow without losing your mind? Simple. Do not try to learn everything at once. We're talking about a 15-minute habit here. Week 1, just do one concrete task on Magic School. Week 2, try that exact same task using a written prompt in ChatGPT, just to see the difference in how much control you have. Then week 3, identify your absolute biggest time drain. Maybe it's drafting parent emails or writing quiz questions, and just use AI exclusively for that one thing. But listen, I need to give you a massive warning right now. Efficiency tools have this sneaky way of actually expanding your workload if you let them. You have to set hard boundaries. As Jan Mauro points out, the golden rule is this. The AI generates a draft. You make it usable, you move on. Don't fall into the trap of spending 20 minutes regenerating the exact same prompt just chasing perfection. It's a first draft assistant. Apply your professional judgment, fix it up, and reclaim your time. Okay, Section 3, the truth about detection. Let's flip the perspective and look at the student side of the desk. We really need to dismantle this illusion of foolproof AI detection. We so often think of cheating as binary, right? Like either the kid wrote it or the machine wrote it. But student AI use actually exists on this incredibly complex spectrum. A student might just use it to brainstorm ideas, or maybe as a glorified spell checker. Or they'll write a rough draft and then use AI to heavily edit it. Most of your students are honestly sitting somewhere right in the messy middle of the spectrum, using AI in ways they might not even realize crosses an academic line. And the students who are intentionally crossing that line, they are getting seriously smart about it. They aren't just copying your prompt, pasting it into ChatGPT, and hitting print anymore. They're using paraphrasing tools like Quillbot to intentionally scramble the AI's statistical patterns so detection software completely misses it. They're doing something called prompt chaining, which is basically building an essay piece by piece over dozens of specific prompts. Or they're doing hybrid writing, seamlessly mixing their own sentences with AI-generated structures. And because of these evasion tactics, we have to face a really harsh reality about detection tools. Independent studies show false positive rates can range from 4% to over 15%. To put that into perspective, you could be falsely accusing more than 1 in 10 innocent students. And it actually gets worse. Non-native English speakers are at a significantly higher risk of being falsely flagged. Why? Because their formal, grammatically conservative writing shares statistical traits with AI output. Relying purely on a software score to accuse a kid of cheating is quite frankly, incredibly dangerous.
So what's the actual solution here? Well, it is beautifully, refreshingly low-tech. The absolute most reliable detection method is simply a 10-minute conversation. Just ask the student to verbally defend their work. Ask them why they made a really specific argument or what they struggled with in the drafting process. A student who genuinely wrote their paper, they can answer effortlessly in their own voice. A student who had AI do the heavy lifting will almost immediately stumble.
Which brings us to Section 4, redesigning your assignments. This is the real climax of this explainer. If playing the detection game is a losing battle, and it is, we have to fundamentally shift our strategy. We need to start designing assignments where AI becomes practically irrelevant. Let's look at a really concrete before and after for an English class. If you ask for a standard or run-of-the-mill analytical essay on a novel's theme, AI can literally generate a B+ paper for you in 3 seconds flat. But if you change it up and require a critical letter written from one specific character to another, using that character's distinct voice, now the student has to deeply engage with the text. AI produces really generalized, generic output. It struggles big time with specific personal voice. And it's the exact same concept for the science teachers out there. Check out this brilliant example. Instead of just assigning a standard lab report that an AI can format in its sleep, you change the narrative framing. Make the student write a memo to a specific imaginary client, explaining what those lab results mean for a real-world decision they have to make. That requires genuine cognitive application of the knowledge, not just mindlessly filling in a procedural template.
The absolute key takeaway when redesigning your curriculum is to embed these AI-resistant elements everywhere you can. Force students to connect the course content to specific local data. Make them submit their messy process notes alongside the final product. Bring back in-class writing components. Honestly, if a student can just copy your prompt, paste it into a chat box, and hit enter to get an A, well, actually, scratch that. It's a tough pill to swallow. But the prompt is the problem there, not just the student.
All right, our final section, a new academic integrity. To make all this work, we really need a philosophical shift. We have to change how we actually talk to students about cheating, because these tools are everywhere, and they are absolutely not going away. The old view was entirely about stealing someone else's hard work. But AI has no human author. So when a student uses AI to write an essay, they aren't thinking of it as stealing at all. They just see a really efficient shortcut. We have to reframe this completely. AI misuse isn't stealing. It is self-sabotage. It deprives the student of the cognitive struggle that is quite literally required to develop their own reasoning. They aren't cheating you, they are cheating their own intellectual development.
Because of that, zero-tolerance policies are basically a fantasy now. They are completely unenforceable. Instead, you need a realistic framework, like a spectrum policy. You just categorize every single assignment. Category A, absolutely no AI allowed. Category B, sure, use AI for brainstorming, but the actual writing must be original. Category C, drafting is fine, but you need full, transparent disclosure. By clearly tagging every assignment with a category, you eliminate the gray areas, remove the confusion, and actually make your expectations enforceable.
Through all the chaos of this transition, the new tools, the stressful detection battles, rewriting the rulebook, we really have to ground ourselves back in our core purpose. As Jan Mauro states so perfectly, the mission is students who can think. The technology is going to keep evolving at breakneck speed, but that underlying mission, that remains exactly the same. The ability to reason, to engage deeply with complex text, to produce a truly original thought under pressure, these are profoundly human skills. AI can't replace them, and honestly, it makes those skills more valuable now than ever before. Which leaves us with one final thought as you step back into your classroom tomorrow. You are facing a massive technological shift, and yes, it is undeniably hard. But remember, you are the professional in the room. So the question is, will you let AI replace the learning process, or will you use it to buy back your precious time and aggressively protect the real mission, creating students who can actually think? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. See you next time.